Good timing, oh yes. Great timing. You lucky devil. This is worth 18 submarines. Come on, Mama, let the good times roll.
Have you ever heard of that old man who specifically has a cure in his blood to his very specific disease? He's saved like thousands
some sort of like
children
antibody in
because he donates every week and he saves all these children.
Lesson time.
Yeah.
So it's called Rogam.
Because I'm sure I've heard the documentary. I've listened but I
So
just
he
forgot
has
all the details.
So people who are O negative, if you give them O positive blood, that positive blood basically, because that O negative person lacks the positive, they see it as a foreign body and make the anti-positive, aka anti-D. They harness that blood and harness the antibody, and they'll inject that into pregnant Rh negative women, O negative, A negative, any like that, to falsify and make their body believe they already have an anti-D so they don't start making it on their own. Because what had happened in history, they couldn't figure out why babies were dying. Basically, an O negative woman has an Rh positive baby. Pregnancy is very traumatic. They start swapping blood, so the baby's blood goes into mom and starts making, the mom's like, oh, that's positive blood, I'm going to start making antibodies. Then the next baby that comes along that's positive, that anti-D is going to start reacting to that baby's positive blood because it does not, basically anti-D, and starts attacking the baby's blood and basically killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So they basically falsify and trick the body to think it already has an anti-D, and it's just passive. It'll go away on its own after time. And it will not attack the baby.
Genetics is so interesting.
What a miracle we've discovered that kind of information.
And it's like
I can definitely believe that at the time we were like, that's magic or the devil or God or whatever.
And the time lapse is more interesting.
Cursed.
When a woman is Rh negative or somebody's Rh negative and you want to give them Rogam, you have 3 days to give it. It'll be fine after 3 days. And the reason we decided on 3 days is because we ran tests on prisoners and apparently they escaped for 3 days. So when they came back, they still had the positive results or whatever. So 3 days is good enough. So it was due to a prison escape that we decided, 3 days is good. We didn't really look any further.
You gotta take the research you can because unethical research is not.
Oh yeah, because prisoners is totally.
You're not allowed to do a bunch of crazy experiments. So it's hard to get a bunch of that good information.
What kind of research would you do if money and ethics were no question?
Ask Warhammer.
Ask Warhammer. Ask Nazis.
If I made Steve laugh, I call it a success.
I don't even know.
I'll sleep like a baby tonight. Huh?
Ask Warhammer, but also ask Nazis. Nazis did horrific research on people.
I heard they've done all kinds of experiments, and I've heard that's mixed results on how much good actually came out of it.
The Japanese also did.
Some of the stuff they did was useless, but some of the stuff maybe had some.
I don't know what the point of this, but apparently they would also stick a small narrow glass rod at people's urethras and just smash the glass in there. I don't know if that was torture.
Just to see what would happen, or
I don't know.
I mean, God knows what was in that doctor's head. Who knows? You'd have to be him to know for sure. But.
The Japanese had a tendency of taking their war prisoners and then dissecting them while alive and trying to keep them alive during the entire dissection process.
See how long you could keep them?
No, just to see how the body
works. So they could actually
out.
Physically watch how the body functions, I guess.
I'm sure they really did test the limits on how long they could keep somebody alive.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, what happens when we remove this? What happens when we remove this? What happens when we remove this?
It's kind of like how they say the Nazis did tests on twins, and it was stuff that you would think for sure that wouldn't work, but they were yeah, but we did it just for
we just had to rule. We had to rule out the question
just to rule it. Yeah.
There was a serious race between the Russians, the Germans, and the U.S. between figuring out if psychic powers were real, because every country was claiming that they were and that they had trained soldiers in it. And so, of course, all the other countries in response have to go, well, we got to look into how to defend against that if it is possible.
How can we do that? Ooh, I know. What's a way to expand people's minds for it? LSD!
I heard a rumor they literally made a lampshade out of human skin, and I'm like, what experiment did that cover?
I don't know, dude. Fuck around.
That was just satisfying someone's sick, sadistic, twisted mind.
I've also seen a serial killer make a whip out of a human spine.
That's what, as I said, satisfying a sick and twisted psyche.
Well, that's the thing. In a universe where anything can exist, it's just a matter of time, I suppose. It's whatever. I'm sorry.
So how's your conversation with living going?
Well, everybody's there.
I know.
It's on speaker on the.
Oh, it's on speaker.
Well, like I
Okay.
said, it's on the car phone, like
Okay.
as in like it's coming out of the speakers in the
Right,
doors.
right.
That wasn't implied. I'm sorry. I just so like everybody's there with you, and I'm sorry. You do know us, or you know of us?
I know of you.
You know,
I've
of
seen
us?
pictures.
So
apparently.
Oh, have you now?
So, hola, mi amigo. Me llamo Nux.
We're gonna get all of Dusty's like one class of Spanish from high school.
Hey, dude, they made me take 2 years of Spanish. I'm going to use it. And don't even blame me, man. I've spent 250 hours in Cyberpunk playing a Spanish Valentino. Like I
Just to
role played.
prepare for this.
I role played that shit. And that was before I told you that I replayed the game as a young white girl who literally got out of her corpo apartment, jogged around the block, bought a coffee at the bodega, and went back upstairs to read the paper. All right? I role play like a motherfucker. All right? I am basic bitch 2073 or whatever the fuck. I don't even know.
2077.
You famous streamer yet?
99.
Just stream the bullshit you do.
I'm about to do it. Like me and Steve just helped me this past week. We've upgraded the internet, so we ran an Ethernet cable from one side of the house to the other. God love him, he fucking crawled through the crawl space for me because I wasn't about to.
You weren't gonna fit through
I
that.
was like, well, that was really
I love using my weight as to be like, oh, sorry.
No, you literally were not.
I physically can't. So if you could do me the favor. Hey, dude, if there's anything you can't lift, I'll be there. But you're strong. I don't know. Big strong man. Sorry. So
Yeah, considering the number of times that you guys have had, like,
this is a good question for you. So, like, he's pretty sure he's buying more than 100 megabytes per second as a service. But we're capped out at 100 megabytes per second. Is that our machines, or is there? It's not the router or the Wi-Fi, the router or the modem, because I checked both of those. They're both rated higher than that. There is a small section of wire between the modem and the router that I'm worried might be like a category 1 through 4 Ethernet cable that could be limited to 100, or is it our machines? What do you like? What's
the category of cable would be a bottleneck.
right?
There's also the possibility of it depends on what you're paying for. You'll never actually get, because they use a different system. Because there's megabits and megabytes, and then they'll tell you whichever one is the highest one. And
No way.
Yeah.
Megabits and megabytes?
they're different.
Those are the same abbreviations.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers.
So
that explains, because I actually went onto the website and I tested the speed there, and it was only, and this one,
and it could mean two different things.
because this time, because while we were testing it ourselves, and it was coming up to the 100.
Yeah, we
FPS,
capped at 100. What was
this one was coming up to just around 50. So it might. So if it's doing a different category,
How much are you paying for though?
Huh?
How much are you paying for?
The thing is that it's coming up for 200, and I'm like, why the fuck am I only getting like a quarter of this shit?
well,
Well, when I go on the website and ask for a service, they say $70 is like 400 megabytes. So, which is like at least double what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm like, if you're paying what you're paying, then we need to be getting more internet into the house. We got to figure out where the bottleneck is. Is it the service? Is it our machines? Or is it that one section of cable between your modem and your router?
Right.
Which looks like a cheap cord that came with the modem, which is what I'm worried about.
We spend what, 70?
yeah, we spend 70 for a gig.
For 1 gig?
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
Compared to the prices we were looking at Xfinity. Where are you buying?
Xfinity.
Interesting. The Xfinity website right now is telling me for 70, I think I can get 400. And then it's like 75 for 800, which is why I was looking at 800.
I don't know.
But 1 gig or higher was like significantly higher than that.
Your area won't have higher than 1 gig.
Right. It is the areas are super effective. Yeah.
If they tell you it's more than 1 gig, they're lying.
That's the other thing is like you can't truly believe what they're like. It's all kind of
Because, well, no, Anderson
Yeah.
doesn't have any fiber connections directly to customers. It goes from fiber lines into coaxial lines.
like we're doing coax for sure.
Yeah,
Like that's
coaxial is capped at one gig heavy, like hard.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. We definitely don't need a gig. Like we're just trying to play.
Like
we're just
a
trying to
gig
play
is
Dark
more than
Tide without
enough.
dropping. Like we're
Yeah.
like we're not asking much. Like
Oh, I mean, if you guys are pulling 100, you'll be fine.
so I'm saying like we're not asking much. Like
Well, I'm saying if you're already.
but like
paying
when I
for it.
upgraded from Wi-Fi to Ethernet, I saw an improvement of like less than 10 Mbps.
It's not-
per second.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi isn't going to make a big download speed difference, but it's a consistent packet difference, which just means that
Well,
you have-
like that's why I made I wanted to change.
it's a
it because,
consistency
Like, we did
thing,
it.
not a download speed.
So like we went through the effort of doing it. So like we did it.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So Lemon's on the phone?
Yeah.
Lemon's talking all sultry?
Well, he says hello, and then there's just water in the background. It's mostly silence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the world's longest piss over here. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, he's in the shower.
Oh, is that kind of water running? Okay.
Yeah.
That just seems impractical.
It's comfortable.
If you could talk on the phone, I guess if you could talk on speaker.
Well, Nux.
We're all there. Like I said, like like we all know what we're doing, right? Like you want to go to the club tonight?
Absolutely. What club?
What club?
Club Shiraz. We're going to Club Shiraz, Lemon.
Well, turn back time. I'll be there.
Mario's gonna be there too with his girlfriend Ladasha.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how that makes you feel, but
I don't know her. Is she hot?
yeah, like she's famous on the internet. Like kind of like so she's decent at least. Like if
But
she was
she's
an
got
uggo,
she's like
she
got her
definitely
own makeup
wouldn't be,
line
but-
and everything.
Makeup. I know nothing about this, and I'm on the way.
All right.
He hangs up immediately.
No, good deal. I was immediately about to say, we all tell you your names and shit, and you were like, no. He hangs up immediately. I was like, God
Going to
damn.
Club Shiraz. I'll be there in 10.
I'll be here at 10.
Does he even know who he's supposed to be meeting?
It's
said-
like 3 or 4 p.m. He's just like,
Jake has apparently said it. Maggie has given him pictures of you guys, so he knows what you look like.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, Mickey has communicated to you that he has brought on some help that might, like some folks to give him a hand. They might need your help at some point, but also here are some pictures of them in case you see them.
And
oh,
I'm
okay,
just trying
good.
to think, and I'm just
Oh,
thinking,
fuck.
oh god,
Oh.
damn it, dude.
Damn it, that's the end of that character sheet.
Well, Nuts is dead.
Nux is dead. The character dies.
Nux, how did Nux die? Alcohol poisoning.
Well, now you guys can have that media that you always wanted.
But yeah,
Dies.
Lim is absolutely going to show up as early as possible to club. Probably fashionably early, like 5 p.m.
Like 20 minutes from now. However long it took him to get dressed, get a cab, and go there.
He was having a shower beer, so he probably took 30 minutes.
A shower beer.
Absolutely.
A shower what?
A shower beer.
Mirror.
Beer.
Beer.
Shower beer. Didn't hear the enunciation on the B. I'm sorry. I was...
He is a boy.
Oh yeah, Nux is dead and gone. You'll never see him again.
Maybe you pick up the paper off the table and dry off the table. And then,
Maybe
copy
get
off.
some, probably gonna get some cleaner because that's gonna be sticky otherwise.
Yeah.
You got anything?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
We can't stay on track for 5 minutes anymore.
Nope.
We were doing good at the start, and then everything went
I
to
don't
shit.
think we were doing good at the start. We were already sidetracked and talking about other shit. And then
I meant more of like the other 2 sessions we did a decent job at.
Oh, yeah. A little bit. We try. No, we don't. Okay.
We don't play.